Hi everybody, I'm here with my daily video, and in my last daily video I talked to you about some tips and tricks and ideas for doing planning in a ring bound. This is the one that I always share and I really enjoy. This is a Filofax compact, or like a personal size, and this is like just my preferred way of doing planning. I like doing something called planning on the go, and I also like combining a planner with a wallet. But I know that my way of doing planning, it's not always what everybody else prefers. So I thought I would share with you some ideas for layouts for doing planning in a traveler's notebook style, or even just in a book style planner. So if you're interested in seeing some planner pages, some planner inserts, and some planner stickers, and some different ideas for trying out new layouts in your planner, if you haven't yet discovered your planner piece or just your preferred way of planning, then I invite you to stick around for this video, and I am excited to share with you some more ideas and ways that you can try out in your own planner that maybe will bring you some planner peace. So let's go ahead and watch the video. So I almost always share with you all my personal planner that I like to use, which is this sort of a layout, which is a very unique layout that most people, they've never seen before, they've never tried. And a lot of people are more comfortable doing something that I like to refer to as book style planning, meaning instead of your pages being like this that flip like a calendar, they flip like this like a book. I think that doing book style planning, it's great. I've done it before. I've done it in this traveler's notebook actually. But, you know, doing it this way, it just works for me. However, because I fully acknowledge that not everybody feels comfortable doing it that way, I thought I would share with you all some ideas about how you can do it in a book style way, where the pages flip from left to right instead of top to bottom. So here is Traveler's Notebook with some inserts that I have set up. There's all different ways that you can do planning in a Traveler's Notebook. You can still use stickers if you want to. These are some really cool stickers that I found on Etsy that are full box stickers, and they're color coded, and then they also say the word weekly focus on them. I think I got these from a place called Lemon Wishes Designs, but I can't remember. But laying out a page by just drawing boxes, and you don't have to use planner stickers if you don't want to, is a great way for you to get a little bit of a monthly overview, or just set your goals and break them down in just smaller chunks. So you should be able to see here that I have, next to weekly focus, I've numbered it. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So this could be like the first week of the month, the second week, and so on and so forth. And then I used a plus sign or a minus sign inside of a circle as a way to communicate to myself visually and symbolically that I want to add to my life by scheduling less. Or like week 2, I want to take away things from my life by like KonMariing the linen closet or seasonal clothes, things like that, because taking away maybe will give me a little bit more space in my life. I want to add to my life by locating more dog parks, or add to my life by starting a compost barrel, which is a little bit on my to-do list. This is like a leftover list from August when I was helping my daughter think about field trip planning and just kind of like all of the things that we might want to do. But you could just as well draw up and use planner stickers in a little bit of a way like this. When you do planning in a traveler's notebook, there are a lot of different ways that you can do it. You can buy kind of ready-made inserts, or you can just make your own inserts. Like, you can literally print off paper and then even staple it in the center and make yourself a little booklet. And I will leave the link to the video that I did about how you can make your own inserts in the description of this one. It's not very hard. It's also really fun because bookmaking is just kind of fun. So here is a little bit of an example of a half of a week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I blocked the weekend together. And I used some pen, and I used some planner stickers, and then I also used some die cut stickers. And this is a way to do planning that is very flexible, because this is a dotted grid sort of an insert. And when you have a dotted grid insert, then that means that every page that you have, you can change up your layout however you like. Now, some people like to use this sort of insert to do a sort of planning called bullet journaling, or bujo, as it's also called. And There's a lot of people who want to try it, but they're very intimidated by the idea of doing bullet journaling because it does require you to have a certain level of comfort with drawing or just with your own handwriting. And there's some people that just, they're not comfortable with their own handwriting, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm not necessarily very comfortable with my own handwriting either, but I still try to do it just the same and not get too caught up in that. But the great thing about doing planning on a grid sort of an insert, the great thing about that is that you can draw up a planner insert that might end up working for you enough for you to invest the money to find planner inserts that look very much like that. Or, as I said in my last video, if you have yet to find a planner insert that works for you, it might be because it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, well then, that's why I'm like showing you these videos of just like examples of planner layouts and setups and things, so that maybe you can get some ideas for how you can find a planner setup and planner inserts that works for you. So the great thing about doing things in an open sort of a way is that you can flex your planning and do things however you like. If it really helps you to have a big picture sort of an idea with check boxes, a to-do section, a today section, and just as much have pictures with page flags and things that help to explain and break down a little bit of what your goals are for any given day, you can still do that in a dotted grid or in a graph sort of a notebook setup. Like I said, I grouped these two together. This is, a weekend banner, and this is just as well Saturday and Sunday. I just didn't write out Saturday and Sunday, and just because Saturday and Sunday are their own days, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give them their own designated boxes. You can just treat the weekend like an entire block, kind of, if you want to. That's something that I often do, and I kind of like doing it that way, if only because on any given kind of weekend day, if I don't get something done on Saturday, then I know that I have some overflow of Sunday. So treating it a little bit like it's a partner set of days, that has worked for me in the past of doing planning. Here's another example, and this is something that I've seen in ring-bound planners as much as I have seen in inserts for Travelers notebooks. And these are actually weekly planning sets, and these are just date cover-ups that someone made and they shared with me for Happy Planner and Erin Condren style planners. And all I did is, whereas these date cover-ups, they would be like this kind of across the top of a page, I just rotated them and then I put them like this, and then I just filled in the dates. So it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then of course you could always continue on the next page with like Saturday and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But again, I used the same sort of stickers, but I just changed the layout, as you can see. And that's one of the great things about doing planning in a sort of a blank book, that you have that flexibility from week to week. That if this sort of layout didn't work for you, then you can change it up, you can use the same stickers, and you can just try something different. If it turns out that this doesn't work for you, then you can even try another sort of a layout. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. And then the bottom portion you can always just divide up. Now this still utilizes planner stickers. You could draw things if you wanted to in there, but you don't have to. Here's a little bit of a habits tracker that I kind of put there. I put today there because the today is meant to be something that goes along with each of these days. And then I just put a little bit of a die cut sort of a sticker to remind myself that you need to pack a brown bag lunch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. I skipped Saturday, of course, just because Saturday maybe you don't need to worry about that because you'll be home Sunday. 15-minute pickup, like for my daughter. So you can use picture stickers as a little bit of like representative of people in your family. Like let's say, for example, if a member of your family is on a baseball team, then you could use like a baseball, or you could use a baseball glove or something. So you don't have to color code things, you can actually code things by picture. We call my daughter Rainbow Girl, so I have little rainbow stickers to be representative of her. There are all sorts of ways that you can do planning, and one of the great advantages about doing them in a traveler's notebook is if you haven't kind of tapped into your planner piece, if you haven't found an insert and a page layout that works for you, then if you're in a Travelers Notebook, like a blank book, and you try out different layouts, and it changes from page spread to page spread, then the great thing is that when you kind of get through this time of just like kind of try it before you buy it or try it before you commit to it, if you want to do things like buy a huge kind of planner setup or planner inserts from anybody on Etsy, or even buying them from the store, because it can get pretty expensive, you have this, a whole entire bound book to refer back to better inform your decision. So then when you're considering what kind of insert should I get, you can look back and say, well, this week this worked for me. So this week this didn't work for me. This week I really like this. And then the great thing is, since you essentially kind of drew up your own layout, if you go and you look on the market, whether it's the Etsy market or whether you're looking in like your local kind of office supply kind of store, if you don't find anything that looks like this, well, you've kind of proven to yourself that all you need is a blank book and you just need to simply draw up what you need. You don't even need to go and buy your own planner inserts because you can make them. Which, as I said in my last video, I think DIY planning is just an awesome way to do planning because it gives you a sense of ownership. DIY has a way of making you feel empowered. It helps you to feel a little more deeply invested, and it's just kind of fun. I think DIY planning is fun, honestly. So that's just a look at, see here, well, that's some planning. There's another layout, yet another one, this one too. And this is all like in the left to right kind of flip that is, you know, different than the layouts that I really enjoy doing, which is this sort of a calendar style. And as I said in my last video, I'm a fan of any type of planning, of any type of planners. I don't discriminate, and I don't think that any one is better than another, but I do readily acknowledge, as a teacher and as just a person who's a planner enthusiast myself, that what might work for one person might not work for another person. But the great thing is you have options. And that's what I wanted to kind of show you here in this video. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing a little bit of just some different page layouts, page insert ideas. I showed you what they looked like in a dotted grid sort of a notebook. You could just as well draw it up and put it in a graph style notebook if you want to, or even just in a regular old just line notebook. As I said in the last video, if you're not sure what to do with all of your planning and what type of planner insert to try out, it doesn't hurt for you to simply drop your own inserts and use any number of those different styles and ways to do planning until you find one that feels comfortable and feels intuitive for you to use. When I say intuitive, what I'm referring to is something that feels organic and natural, something that just kind of goes with the flow of how you think and how you read things across a page, how you can retain and recall information best. I have a lot of experience doing planning, mostly because I used to work as a classroom teacher, and I worked with a lot of different types of learners and a lot of different comfort levels of learning. When I say comfort levels, I mean all different ability levels. People who were tactile learners, people who were visual learners, people who were auditory learners. So I have a much different approach to understanding how planning works and why it works in the way that it does than maybe, I don't know, whomever else that might be out there in the planner community. I think that planning is really cool and really interesting because I think of it as like thinking on paper. And I've discovered, just as a teacher who has helped people to learn how to tap into the ways that they can maybe think a little bit more efficiently or clearly on paper, I just think it's just an awesome thing to figure out. I think of it as a creative problem to be solved, and that's in part why I do these videos. I see planning as a way to just figure out the ins and outs of life, figure out how you can identify what you want your goals to be, and in turn, all of the different steps between where you are, where your goals are, and how you're going to get there. I'm a firm believer that any goal that you could ever have, all it is a matter of you mapping out the route that you will take in order to get there. So that's it for this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the inserts and the different kind of page layouts that I've seen just around and about the planner, and even ones that, I mean, I myself have tried them. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comments of this video. I love interacting with people in the comments. See it as a discussion that just carries over from any of the videos, and I learn a great deal from you all when you leave comments, and there's just so much cool conversation that happens just in the comments of the videos. So thanks so much for spending so much time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next daily video. Bye!